Good morning, everybody. Willie the Bear Johnson. Been up normal time. I think it was 3:16 this morning. But based on the energies, man, that I got going on around me, with things in this industry, and with people, places, and things that continue to challenge your values, principles, and traditions that are universal and based upon the higher power, God, our Creator, for the sake of empowering other people and motivating yourself with good, honest things that will provide a good energy and a good life for your family and all those people you come in contact with. I ain't got no choice to live no other way, because I don't live the foulest way you can possibly imagine. And my worst days today of living this life of blessed is far better than my best day of living the life that I lived when I was out there on them streets doing all that stuff that most people might think that I enjoy doing, but I had to do for the sake of my mom and for the sake of me standing up and making a choice to be a responsible man. I just followed the example. I refuse to follow that example today. I'm sitting here. These are like a couple of books that I read every morning. I read books that relate to things that I want, like this one called Purpose Driven Church. To me, our school is like a spiritual temple. It is a spiritual temple of empowerment, So I want to read how they take places like this that represent a higher power, and the thing that oversees that place is God and His fellowship of people that represent principles and values. The vehicle might be martial arts, but the vehicle is only used for us to find ourselves, our true selves, tap into it and become all what we can be. And for me, that tool is martial arts. But in the wake of the things that I'm going through with people who continue to, it's funny. I'd have been doing it in the street, man. You know what I'm saying? You trying to fake me or pimp me. I'd have been doing it in jail. That's why I've referenced those things so much. I done been around some of the most devastating criminals, hustlers, and family members that done dead. When you so low, bro, they do some crazy stuff to you, and they let you down. I mean, I ain't gonna put all that out right here. That's why you gotta come to a talk, or you gotta read my book, because it's gonna tell you all this truth, man. But I done had some people do some crazy stuff, and because I survived that stuff, you think I'm gonna be in this world and I'm gonna let somebody, because they got all that money, or you think whatever you are, come on, money, position, don't define you being better than nobody. Because at the end of the day, when you take all that away, the only person that's gonna really stand out is the one that really got it in their heart and spirit. You can have all that external stuff, but they don't define you. What's in your heart? What happens when we sit at a table and we look at each other eye to eye? In martial arts, we get on the floor, we bow in, and we fight it out. When that's lost, come on, man, you can fake at a distance all you want, but I ain't faking. I done fake myself out too much. So when I'm sitting there seeing people choose to do that, and I give people clear-cut, like suggestions and warnings, don't mess with my family, and you continue to do stuff that impact my family, nah, for real, I guess I gotta say it's on, dog. I don't care who you are, it's on, dog. You don't do that to me. A man once taught me to help me clearly define it. He said God, family, and everything else. And when you working with people that's supposed to understand that concept and they going contrary to it, and then they letting their ego or their ability to want to be right to try to make you believe that, then I learned to pay attention to every penny. That's why in the hustler game, you don't give shorts. You know why you don't give shorts? Because you want to set a precedence to make sure people know they can't get over on you. And when a guy come with change and dollar bills, you're like, yo, you better get away from me before I hit you upside the head with a baseball bat. You know what our protocol is. Don't bring that around here. Don't want no ones. Ones exemplify that you out there doing some crime. Give me some bills. Don't come with no change. And don't even ask for a penny short. I'm going to love you, I'm going to look out for you, but don't go against the code of the hustling game. They ain't even got no code. They don't even understand the concept of loyalty. Loyalty is the most precious thing. When you got a person willing to die for you, I still got guys that in the street, but we're so different. The reason why we're so strong, because Bear made a choice to improve his life, and what I do now sets the example for them to say, yo, this is what we did. And I still go back and I tell them, yo, I love you. You was my boy. I just choose not to live that way no more. Check the A&E special. I'm still consistent about what I say. Ain't no fake here. Ain't no disloyalty here. But I ain't going to let that make you think that you can, pimp me. Come on, man. That's the whole problem with martial arts since the beginning. People in authority or in position think they can get over on you. I said that before. No, not happening. But here's the thing that I learned. Check this out. In my reading today, which is today's reading, November the 15th, a great commitment to the great commandments and the great commission will grow a great church. So you got to be committed. I got to be committed to change like I was when I came home from jail. So this ain't nothing new. Try going to jail and being locked down 23 hours and let out an hour. You can sit there and do all what everybody else doing, or you can make a commitment with inside yourself to say, no, I'm going to change my life. And I tell you again, wasn't nobody there but me and God. It ain't that the truth didn't, it ain't the principles and concepts and the truth that people reveal like my parents and other people didn't work. It's just that I didn't work it. I said, hold up, I know what to do. I'm going to do it. The great commandments. We know what the commandments are. We know what they are. Be aware of your surroundings. Walk your post in a perfect manner. Stay consciously aware of everything that's going on with you, including your body language. That's just my interpretation of them. But we know what the commandments are. You check it. Read it from the greatest book ever written. And we know what that book is. I ain't got to tell you. In the Great Commission, that's the fellowship of like-minded people that live by honesty, trust, and integrity. And you know what? I ain't going to go back and tell another man's honest admission of what he's going through to another man because I want to end like, yo, guess what he told me? Don't tell nobody. Nah. If you told me not to tell you, I ain't going to tell you. I got a partner who we did a movie script, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't going to get that to nobody. And I ain't going to sell out regardless of how challenging things might come. Even though it's a masterpiece, I ain't going to let nobody know about it. Me and them put that together. And if it never gets done until the day I'm gone, that's cool with it. I wish it could be done, but I'm not going to go against our friendship. So that's coming from this book, Purpose-Driven Church. Now I'm going to flip it. You got to read this one, bro. 12 Street Smart Recipes for Success. Big-time drug dealer. Came home, man, learned how to be a cook in jail, and came home, and now he's a leading motivational speaker. Will Smith took in, they said Will Smith's movie company brought the script to his life story. That's another inspiration to tell you how that story about my life, man, going to be done, not so I can become wealthy, but so I can show people that you can come from anywhere. So here's what he's saying in this book. The bottom line is this. Real life transformation is never painless. It's never painless. So if you're doing the right things and you're going through pain, it's all right, baby. Because on the other side of pain is peace, harmony, and happiness. For a little bit, and then you're going to go right back to pain. Nothing bad. That's just reality of life, bro. Yin and yang. It requires a serious go. It requires a serious got-to-go commitment. I'm going to say that to you again. It requires a serious got-to-go. Got to go. Let them go. Commitment. Real street smarts. A hustler entrepreneur. A hustler's entrepreneur embraces the challenge of sacrifice and surrender. And you can take it from me because I know firsthand. You got to surrender to win. I'm going to surrender to what I can't control. It's cool, but I'm going to win. Because I done been through worse stuff than what you could ever imagine. That's why you ain't going to never fake me. I don't care how much money you got and who you think you are and what titles you got. Because this other one, you got to get it, Brian Tracy, building the bond that make businesses grow. So don't think I'm just talking drug dealing concepts or whatever you want to think. No, they all cross-reference with one another. The 10 laws of trust, building the bonds that make a business great. If you haven't read it, you need to read it because it brings these 3 books that I just talked about. It brings it home, and as a leader, it confirms the truth that you know that's all inside of you. Bruce Lee says, you know what I'm saying, the truth is outside of all systems and concepts, but it's all about expression. If a person can't bring forth what's inside of you so you can see the true gifts that God has given you, man, you're going to be in trouble. Not happening with me, the Gotti from yoga. is a thing I read today. Also, it says, his mind still does not find satisfaction. He may engage himself in some material activity thinking. Since I am driven by the desire to carry on my message in a business manner, I will fulfill the desires this time by working not for the gratification of my ego and self, but for the purpose of God's plan. For the purpose of God's plan. Not about the money, baby. It was about the money, and I kept on doing what I was doing. So don't get it twisted. Another good book, it says, you broke because you want to be broke. So all these things that I'm saying, if anybody, including me, don't move forward and making a commitment to change and standing and sticking to your guns and doing it to empower people, not for the almighty dollar, then you're going to stay broke because you want to be broke. And we're going to bring it home with the new Joel Osteen book. Think better, live better. I love it, man. They said Malcolm X read all the books in the library, you know what I'm saying? I ain't going to never stop education. Self-education is the most powerful thing. Wait a minute, here we go. Let me bring this at you. Here we go, in Joel Osteen, new book. I'm not a mistake. I am not an incident. God chose me to be here before the foundation of this world. I'm accepted. I am approved. I am valuable, blessed, free, and confident to go on and do God's work. Don't let nobody tell you what you can't do, man. And when people forget to, like, try to enhance and help and empower you, and when you got the snakes around trying to rob and steal from you, you know, and I say this, because I remember one time, it was a couple of times, man, I had my best friends breaking in my house in the projects because we were gifted to have certain things that other kids didn't have in the hood. You know what I'm saying? I know who was doing it. My parents didn't know, but I knew. You know, at that time I had no courage and the confidence to stand up and tell anyone or do anything about it, but I knew. I think the one powerful thing is, there was a couple of, I can call them all, but I'm going to pull this one out. I remember when we was doing crime, I'm sitting there, young kid coming up, a nephew, one of my best friends, but he wanted money. He wanted to make a rep for himself. So I remember one time we sitting around, game had changed a little bit, so these guys were more into like the hype of fame, not really the establishment of a true bank making money. So they was all being, you know, girls hanging around, people hanging around. And when one thing you learn on the street, man, don't be having girls around and people around. It's about work. So you don't socialize during work time. You got to stay focused. I'm telling them, yo, chill, get them people away. So I go downstairs, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking around, send somebody to the store, get me a Slurpee from 7-Eleven. I see these two cats come in the building. Boom. Go up on the right side of the building. We in the high rise that they done tore down in Baltimore. They got their hoodies down as they come in. And I'm like, hold up, what's going on? I always get these feelings of when something about ready to go on. And most of the time, I've always been right on the street. So I see them going up. I'm like, hold up, man. Yo, let me go up here, tell them what's going on. So I go up. They were with the girls, everybody kicking it, cutting a bobo, chilling. I'm like, yo, such and such came in. They went up the side of the step, and they got hoodies on. They're like, yo, shut up, man. They ain't coming. They know us. I'm like, yo, I'm telling you, they coming up. Within a split second, I seen them coming up. They came, we on the 4th floor. They came under the 3rd, came up the stairway, and while I'm telling them, all I do is see these cats